Well, wasn't expecting this person to show back up. I sincerely was not expecting this person to show back up. But we will talk about that when we get to the main event. But my name is Daniel Strong. Welcome back to QuickTime Reactions, and welcome to my SummerSlam Night 2 review. If you guys want to know my thoughts on Night 1, go check out that video that's already on my channel, and you can hear my thoughts on Night 1, but we are talking about Night 2. Triple H opens up the show saying, welcome to the biggest SummerSlam of all time. And after his little opening spiel, getting to say, are you ready? All that stuff, we go into the women's world title match between Naomi, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky. Naomi actually got a special entrance tonight. She actually got played out by her own father, who is an electric guitar player, which that's pretty freaking cool that she got to walk out with her father for an entrance for her match. I thought that was really cool. Early on in the matchup, it was very evident that Rhea and Io were going to gang up on Naomi to basically try and, break her down and basically continue what they had at Evolution a couple weeks ago. But actually, Naomi was actually a couple steps ahead, even at one point dodging out of the way of, I believe, Io was going to go for an attack on Naomi, but she ends up hitting Ripley instead. But Naomi was firmly in control for a good portion of this matchup. But she gets neutralized, and then, of course, we get the Rhea Io portion of the match. Just really good back and forth work between all three ladies in this matchup. I think at one point, Rhea, I believe, hits the Riptide on Naomi, but Io comes in to break up the pin. I think there was another point where Rhea was going to go for a pin on Io, but Naomi pulls Rhea out of the ring. Towards the tail end of the matchup, Naomi's on the outside, and Io hits a Shote Palm strike to Rhea, who's sitting up on the top rope. Io's going to try and go for maybe a Spanish fly off of the top rope, but Rhea catches her. She hits a super Riptide off the top rope, and looks like she's going to have the win. She's going to pin Io for the first time, but Naomi comes in, rolls her up, gets a bit of the tights, and Naomi walks out still Women's World Champion. And I start out my night with a loss in my predictions, because I had Rhea winning the match, and Naomi instead won the match. So I start out my night like I ended my night last night, with a loss. But then we move on to absolute carnage. We have the TLC match featuring DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxium, the Street Profits, the Wyatt Six, who are tag champs, and Andrade and Rey Fenix. This was an absolute car crash from start to end. Everyone went balls to the walls insane. There's one point where Gargano hits a DDT onto Joe Gacy through a table. Loomis hits a leg drop onto Ford through a table. Fenix hits a big splash onto Nathan Frazier through a table. And Dawkins looks like he's going to hit Ciampa with a big move through a table. Well, through two tables, actually. But Axiom comes up, and he hits a massive Spanish fly onto Dawkins through those two tables. Another point, DIY's up on a ladder looking to grab the tag titles. Actually, no, this is before this. Candice LeRae makes her way to the ring, and she tries to go up and grab the titles for DIY, but B-Fab, who is, sometimes aligned with the Street Profits, she stops that. Nikki Cross, who is aligned with the Wyatt Six, She comes in and adds some more chaos into the fold. But Candice almost looks like she has the belts, but someone does an offensive move to Ciampa, and he then staggers back, hits the ladder. It falls, and Candice takes a massive bump through a ladder, which breaks on the outside. That was crazy. One of the more underrated spots of the match happened really early on when Andrade and Rey Fenix tried to pull off some gymnastics where Andrade is under Rey Fenix and he has his hand on his foot, and Fenix tries to go up and like grab the titles. I thought that was a very unique way to try and pull the titles down. Eventually, all the members of the Wyatt Six, including Rowan and Uncle Howdy, enter the matchup. They're both taken care of for the time being. It appears as though DIY are going to try and win this match, but they're thwarted as well. Fraxium looks like they're going to get it, but they're stopped by the Wyatt Six. And the Wyatt Six are able to retain their tag team titles. An absolutely amazing TLC match, and puts one up for me in the win column. We then move on to the women's IC title match. No DQs, no countouts. There must be a winner. Becky Lynch defending against Lyra Valkyria. This was a good physical match between the two of them. I would say, like, there are some good storyline implications that we'll get to towards the end of this match, but I actually prefer the match that they had at Backlash, and I might be just that tad bit biased because I was at Backlash and I did see that match live and in person. And even the triple threat that they had at Evolution, Becky, Lyra, and Bayley, I thought was just a hair better than this. Not to say that this wasn't a good match. It was a really good match. But I just prefer the other two that were kind of in this feud. Becky has firm control in the beginning, and even at one point, she grabs a zip tie from a toolbox and she zip ties Lyra's hands together, and she at another point hangs her over the ring post, much like the Usos did with Xavier Woods in their Hell in a Cell match. I think back in 2018, I want to say. And she just starts hitting her with a kendo stick. Eventually, though, Lyra is able to break the zip tie and then just go straight to town on Becky. She even hits a Nightwing off of the steps onto the floor. Becky has Lyra wrapped up in a chair, and she's just driving her back and forth between the post and the announcer's table. And it looks like she's going to hit Lyra using a crowbar with her neck still wrapped around the chair when Bayley comes in and stops Becky from doing it. And Becky's like, do it. Hit her and just take her out. But Bayley doesn't do it, which gives Lyra enough time while Becky and Bayley are brawling. Gives Lyra enough time to get her wits about her. And in fact, this was a really cool spot. While Becky is just like, kind of woozy, using the table to get back up onto her feet, Lyra hits a massive leg drop. My assumption is from the apron through that table, which Becky was trying to get her balance back on. They end up getting back into the ring. They trade finish her attempts, and Bayley gets up on the apron, and it appears as though Becky is going to get hit with that chain that was introduced in the matchup earlier on, but Becky sends Lyra in. Bayley hits Lyra with that chain. manhandle slam. 1, 2, 3. Becky Lynch retains her IC title, and now Lyra can no longer challenge for that women's IC title while Becky is champ, and that puts another one in the loss column for me. Moving on, we have the steel cage match for the U.S. title. Solo Sikoa defending against Jacob Fatu. Early on, Fatu has the advantage in the cage match, but eventually Solo is able to break him down enough, sending him back and forth against that cage. Solo calls for the door a couple of times, but Solo is able to stop Jacob from getting out of the cage. Really good back and forth between both guys in this matchup, and at one point Solo sends Jacob into the cage. It doesn't affect Jacob whatsoever. It appears as though Jacob is going to escape through the cage, but of course out comes the MFT of Tonga Loa, JC Mateo, and Tala Tonga. But Jacob has a bit of an equalization as well. Jimmy Uso also makes his way to ringside, hitting super kicks left, right, and center, but not against Tala Tonga because he is so tall. They're able to. Jacob's able to fend off Tonga and JC from climbing the cage, but not Tala Tonga, who has handcuffs and handcuffs Jacob to the top of the cage. So surely Solo's got the match won, but Solo's able to break that handcuff chain, go over, stop Solo from exiting the cage. JC Mateo is holding the door open for Solo, but eventually Solo's able to bat away JC from the cage door. It appears as though Jacob is going to be able to escape, but Tala Tonga ends up booting the cage door into Jacob's head, and Solo is able to escape the cage and retain his U.S. title, which, another loss in my predictions. But in the end, though, Jacob does stand tall. Jimmy Uso super kicks JC and throws him and Tonga Loa inside of the cage, and they both get super kicks from Fatu and a massive moonsault from the top of the cage onto both of them, so Jacob ends up standing tall at the end of the segment. Moving on to the semi-main for tonight, Dominic Mysterio putting up his IC title against AJ Styles, who ends up coming out in a lowrider with his, I believe that was his son, commentary said. These guys had a really good matchup, a lot of good back and forth between the two of them. At one point, Dominic goes for like maybe a Hurricane Rana off the top, but Styles looks like he may go for an Avalanche Styles Clash, but Dom is able to get out of it. Again, just really good back and forth. I love the fact that they both pull tricks from the Eddie playbook, where Dom exposes the turnbuckle, which distracts the ref so that he can go out and get a chair, and he feigns like he gets hit with the chair, but AJ throws it right back at him. He puts the chair around his neck, and he lays on the canvas just sprawled out. Referee doesn't know what happened, so it's a wash. They keep going. The end of the match sees AJ go for the calf crusher, which he had applied earlier on in the matchup, but this time Dominic's boot falls off, and so AJ's like, what on earth? This allows Dom to get a quick hit on AJ and hit him with the boot, and then the frog splash to retain his IC title, and that puts another win in the column for me. And on a replay, it showed that Dom actually loosened the zipper on his boot, which allowed him to for his boot to escape when he was in the calf crusher, which was pretty smart on Dominic, I will say. Dominic has the ability to potentially walk out in a couple weekends' time as a double champion, because he will be challenging for the AAA Mega Championship at Triple Mania 33 when he's in the four-way with Vikingo, El Grande Americano, and Dragon Lee. So he could potentially be a double champion in a couple weekends' time. And yes, I will be covering Triple Mania 33 because they are showing it on WWE's YouTube channel. So look out for a review for that as well. And then, of course, we get to the main event. Cody Rhodes challenging John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship in a street fight. So when Cena comes out, it appears as though he's not changed. It's still like the black screen, just his name. But when the theme song kicks in, it's, of course, the bright and shiny colors. Cena wearing the bright and colorful merch. He runs his way down to the ring, does the theatricalities with the belt and with the ring introductions. It's back to the old John Cena. And what's interesting was that Cody Rhodes actually got a bit of booze during the introduction, which made me think, oh, we're gonna get a double turn somehow. This match was way better than their WrestleMania match, even though I'm probably one of the only people that actually really enjoyed the Mania match from like a psychology perspective. This one was absolutely better in every single way possible. Cena showing that, he can still really do it even though he's in his last year. And Cody Rhodes holding up his end of the bargain as well as being just a tad bit more aggressive. Each guy, of course, kicking out of their respective finishers. The AA kick out, Crossroads kick out. There's weapons aplenty. There's even crowd brawling, and this was a really cool moment. They fight near the stage. They go under the stage, and they come back up on the what is affectionately called the Cody Vader. But Cody is up on Cena's shoulders, and that shot was absolutely amazing. And then Cena walks a couple feet and then just hoys Cody off of his shoulders with an AA. That was absolutely disgusting. Then Cena carries Cody all the way back down to the ring. And it is not enough. Cody still kicks out. Cody Rhodes hits his 3 Crossroads in a row, which was able to put away Roman at WrestleMania 40 last year. It was not enough to put away Cena. Cena kicked out. Cena then hit an AA and then an avalanche AA off of the second. That wasn't enough. Cody kicked out. So Cody ends up going out and he loosens the bottom rope and uses the turnbuckle, bashes Cena twice with the turnbuckle. Cena, though, slips in from behind, goes to lock in the STF using the rope to try and choke Cody out, but Cody is able to get out of it. Also, earlier on in the matchup, Cody was able to throw Cena through the table, sponsored by Slim Jim, by the way. And I believe Cody was able to hit a belt shot, I believe. But Cena brings in one more table into the equation. He's going to try for an avalanche AA through that table, but Cody is able to reverse it, hit a massive Cody cutter off the top through that table, and he gives John one more salute, picks him up, hits a Crossroads, and that is enough. Cody Rhodes wins the match, is the new WWE Undisputed Champion, which puts me 3-3 on the night. However, 5-7 on the whole of the show. I missed out on tying, which I count ties as a win, by one match, and it stings. I just was not. I thought they were going to go in certain directions, and they were not. They completely washed away any of the plans that I had in my head. So I ended up losing this show, but that happens every once in a while. You just get those shows that you're just not good at predicting what's going to happen. So that's on me, and I'll try and maybe predict the unpredictable next time. But Cena and Cody have a nice little moment in the ring. Cody leaves so Cena can receive his flowers from the New York, New Jersey crowd. Takes a bow. He thanks the fans, and as he's about to head out the ring, dun, 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 Brock Lesnar's music hits. And that completely shocked me. I sincerely thought we would never see Lesnar again in WWE, considering the fact that he was supposedly kind of mentioned in the Vince McMahon lawsuit, which kind of took him out of the Rumble a couple years ago. So I just thought we would never see Lesnar in the company again. But here he was, and he strolled down to the ring. He's grown out the beard. He's grown out his hair, which is crazy. He gets into the ring. He hits an F5 onto John Cena. And that's how the show ends, with Brock standing tall over John Cena. And my assumption is that's going to be Cena's match for either Clash in Paris, or it'll be his match for Crown Jewel in Australia. One of the two. It's going to be one of the two. Because I don't know if Cena is wrestling at Clash in Paris, because, Peacemaker Season 2 will have been out for a little while, so Cena might still be doing press for that. So I don't know when Cena's going to be back, but my assumption is he'll have a feud with Brock, and one more match with Brock before he hangs it up. But yeah, Brock Lesnar's back in the company, which I never thought I would say, but again, never say never in professional wrestling. So yeah, that is my review of Night 2 of SummerSlam. It was definitely better than Night 1. And overall, I thought SummerSlam as a whole was a pretty good show. I wouldn't say it's WWE's best show of the year. I would say that's probably still the Rumble, in my opinion. I still think the Rumble is the best show that WWE has done all year. But this is still a pretty good show overall. But yeah, that is pretty much going to be it from me for my wrestling coverage this weekend. We'll head back to normally scheduled programming for the week. We got a couple of movie reviews coming out this week. One of which is for Freakier Friday, and the other one is for Weapons. And I'm dreading, but also looking forward to watching that this week and getting that review out to you. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But until then, guys, be safe out there, and I will catch you guys next time.